What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always, spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I'm talking about: football, basketball, and boxing. So we got Lamont Roach versus Gervonta Tank Davis in August. Buckle up and get ready. Should be a real good boxing match. For those who missed the first one, you missed the classic. Gervonta Tank Davis, who was previously undefeated, knockout artist extraordinaire. They call him Tank for a reason. He's got all the tools in the toolbox. He can work his jab. He's got a right hook, a left hook, uppercut, can go to the body, come upstairs to the chin. He's got a chin. He can fight on his back foot, set you up. Very patient. Got everything. And with that being said, he has been accused at times by some of picking and choosing his fights from time to time. But he has shown in recent years, and his most recent fights, a willingness to step up against some of the best fighters. And you can't question the talent you see from him. And he does have some decent names on his resume. But this fight against Lamont, a lot of people probably thought this was one of those fights that was the fight before a big fight. Lamont was coming up from a lower weight class, even though he had been a champ and was legit himself. But people thought, he was stepping a little bit out of his weight class. And even though he was a great fighter, he wasn't going to be able to mess with Tank. Boy, was everyone wrong that thought that. Lamont fought an excellent fight. Game plan was on point. Some people say Tank took him lightly. I'm going to not give Tank that much disrespect. Tank claims he prepares for everybody. And even when you criticize his opponents about their skill level, when he's leading up to a fight, he'll say how seriously he's taking them and how good of a fighter they are, and he has to be on point and ready to show them who he is, to inflict his will on his opponents. And he claimed he was ready to do that with Lamont. Lamont said in their fights when they had fought in the amateurs that Tank had got away with the decision against him because of his popularity, and Lamont thought he should have won in the amateurs against Tank. Tank laughed that off. Well, in the pros, I'm here to tell you, Tank got a draw in that fight because of his popularity. I personally thought Lamont won. Thought he was more skillful out there. His punches were more concise, with a purpose. Tank was trying to knock him out when he could, trying to box when he could, and Tank didn't fight a bad fight, but Lamont fought a great fight. His defense was great. He showed he could take a little bit of Tank's power. Now, Tank didn't quite hit him super flush like he's capable of, but part of that was Lamont's D. But Lamont also was able to keep Tank off of him from time to time with his jab and his boxing skill. Maybe there was a little bit of sting in those punches that I didn't account for. But it was a great fight to see. And after it was over and it was called a draw, Tank at first made it seem like he was going to make Lamont wait to fight him. He was going to take another fight first and keep moving on to where the money is and fight Lamont later. But he must have heard the rumblings of, if he did that, he was going to feed those rumors about him not being willing to fight the big fights, because now you've been tested. You got your first blemish on your record. You got a rematch him. So he accepted the rematch. And to show you how serious it is to him, they wanted to make it happen in June. Tank said he needed a few more months. Let's do it in August. Of course, Lamont going to oblige, because this is a chance of a lifetime to get back in the ring with Tank again, possibly try to beat him. He better be focused, though, because I expect Tank to come back better than he was before, because he's that type of fighter. He's going to have a game plan and film to look at, but they both got that. So let's see how this goes. Make sure you tune in and watch, because it should be one of the classics of the year, in my opinion, because Lamont can go, Tank can go. Both these guys are from the Maryland area. It's a lot to like really take in. Tune in if you're not a boxing purist. Even the modest, the everyday fan, or not an everyday fan, but your fair weather fans, y'all need to tune in too. But boxing purists, y'all as well. Great fight. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you're looking for. J Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or get at me in the comments. Find me on YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok.